All right. Hi, guys. Happy Tuesday night. Welcome to our one-time team meeting. My name is Kristen, not Lacey. I'm on Lacey's Zoom so that we could go longer on here. So just so you know, I'm Kristen. So tonight I'm going to be talking about handling objections. I don't have a ton of content. I have content, but hold on, I'm going to mute everybody real quick. But what I'm going to do is go through all the content, and then I will have a chance at the end for a Q&A. I've prepped Jess that we might have to do a little role play for you guys tonight if that's needed, or if anyone specifically has an issue that I didn't cover or something that they hear a lot that they would like to have covered, we can definitely go over that. So I am going to start. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about overcoming objections, common objections, and how to overcome them authentically. So what are objections? The first thing I want you guys to know is that we all get objections. Whether you are brand new, been a coach for a week, or whether you have been a coach for 4 years, objections are something, if you have not encountered them, you are going to encounter them. And just because I have been a coach for 3.5 years doesn't mean that I still don't get them. But what has happened over those 3.5 years is that I've gotten more confident at handling the objections. And honestly, you get so used to hearing these objections over and over that you just become very good and comfortable at talking through them. So I want you to stop fearing objections. That's what I really want you guys to get out of this tonight, is to stop fearing objections and embrace them. When people are giving you objections, they're giving you a pathway to discuss things further. They're not saying no. They're not ignoring your messages. So that's a win, right? We all know how awful it is to shoot messages and have conversations with people and then hear crickets. They're not doing that. They're giving you objections, which is giving you a chance to communicate, to really dig deeper into, where they're coming from and to help them understand better. The great news is, I said that we all hear objections. There are honestly only a handful of objections that we will all hear over our entire career as coaches. It's not like there's brand new things that are going to get thrown at us all the time. Typically, they all have to do with the same type of information. So here are some basic tips I just want to share with you guys. And before I go into specific details, what I need you guys to know is that your confidence is everything. If you love Shakeology and you believe in it because it has changed your life for XYZ reasons, and if you do our programs and have seen amazing results and you believe in these things wholeheartedly, if you believe in the coaching opportunity and what the potential it has for you, that is going to come through your post. I hear people have difficulty talking about Shakeology a lot, and I think that's because they're not confident or they haven't done the research to know what's in Shakeology. It's hard for them to talk about it besides just the basic benefits. People talk about having difficulty talking about coaching with people, but you have to be confident. You have to know that when you are presenting a challenge pack to somebody, this challenge pack is the gift to change their life. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Coaching is the best opportunity in the world for them. And that confidence will come through everything. But you've got to be confident and you have to believe in what you are saying. As you are hearing objections and talking to people, don't become defensive. Remember, this is them giving you an opportunity to have a conversation with them, to find out more about them and to dig deeper. It's easy to want to become defensive of something you love. When I hear people say Beachbody is a scam or things like that, it is easy to get in defense mode, but that's not going to help you. What you have to remember is that you are here to help them understand why Shakeology is amazing, why our programs are better than anything in this world, and why coaching is the best opportunity you are not here to convince them to join you. As soon as you find yourself getting into convincing mode, you got to stop. And I've started telling people, I'm not here to convince you to join me. I run groups every month, and I will be here doing this whenever you are ready. I don't want to try to talk you into this or sell you on it. And people appreciate that. You're not convincing them. You're giving them facts. You are sharing the goods, and that's enough. There are some statements that you can use that really, so I always talk about how my counseling plays a huge part in coaching, and meeting people where they are at is huge. Any of these objections that they have, I guarantee you can tell them about a similar story that you had, or about a time of one of your coaches or challengers felt that. I understand how you feel that you don't have enough time. I understand that you might not think you can afford this right now. I felt the same way when I first started. Making yourself real and relatable and letting them know how you worked through those objections. Because I guarantee you, everyone on this call had some sort of objection, whether it was to a challenge group or whether it was to coaching. You had something. This was probably not, for 99% of you guys, was not the easiest decision just to join and, pay the money. I always tell people, when I signed up, I was a broke grad student. I did not have the money to throw away on a challenge group, on a challenge pack. And so I tell them, I was working 3 jobs. I was interning full time. 25 minutes sold me, because everybody has 25 minutes in their time. So I bring it, I understand, I, meet them where they're at with what they are feeling. And then I tell them how I overcame that. I want you guys to know that people can go on Amazon and they can buy these programs. People can get on eBay and buy a bag of Shakeology. What you have to show them is why working with you is the right choice, why being in one of your challenge groups is going to change their life, and why being a part of our Fit Fam is a complete game changer. You're not trying to sell them Shakeology. You're not trying to sell them a program. You're really selling you. And that goes back to your social media and how you're presenting yourself. But all of these things really tie in together. When I tell people about my groups, I sell the heck out of those groups. Those groups changed my life, and I let them know that when I joined a challenge group 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, and had that support that I never had before for 10 weeks from complete strangers from all over the world, and that being in that group is what made me want to become a coach and help other people, that's powerful. I am showing them why I am valuable to them, why being a part of my Fit Fam is valuable to them, and why I think that is where the results are going to come. How many times did I try to work out on my own before Beachbody and it didn't work? I couldn't stick with it. I couldn't stay motivated. I couldn't stay accountable. And joining one of those challenge groups changed my life. And I want them to have that same experience. So I tell them all those things. When I am showing them the value of what they are getting, I am not going to lie, I break this down to a T. I will do the math for them. I will say, when you sign up for $160 for this All Access Pass Challenge Pack, you are getting over 800 workouts. You get access to all of our past work programs, all of our current programs, and all of the new programs that we come out with this year. You don't even have to wait. You get immediate access to them. Not only that, you get access to all of our meal plans, workouts that aren't even a part of programs. You get access to a cooking show to help you with your meal plan, a reality TV show if you want to hang out on, and watch that. You get shaker cups. You get portion control containers. You get lifetime access to my groups. You get a discount on shipping. And as Shaker Cup, I break everything down, because when you write out exactly what they are getting versus, oh, you can sign up for this and it's $180, or you can sign up for this and it's $160, I show them how amazing this deal is, especially with this All Access Pass being $160 right now. Do you guys realize they get 800 workouts? They get a year's access for $30 if you were to subtract the price of Shakeology from that. That is crazy. That is an amazing deal. Show that when you are writing. I've told people the last couple of days, this is an amazing deal. I can't even believe we are doing it at this price. Like, you will never see this deal again, probably. Someone even today was like, holy cow, how is Beachbody doing that? Like, I mean, what's the catch? And I said, there is no catch. You have to show them every piece of it. This is not as simple as, oh, if you want to do the 21-day fix with me, you buy Shakeology in this program and that's what you get. Even with 21-day fix, I break it down to every little thing that they are going to get: the one-on-one support with me, the discounted shipping, the meal portion control containers, the meal plan, the shaker cup, the workouts. I break it down to show them everything. And that, I know from helping my coaches with doing that it was a game changer for them, breaking it down like that as well. Plan ahead. Remember, we are not trying to convince them. If you are getting to a point where you feel like you are convincing and convincing and convincing, have something else to invite them to, whether it's a free ongoing group you have, or whether it's our team free group of the month, a clean eating group or something like that, or whether it's your next challenge group. Have something else that you can say, like, I totally understand you're not ready to get started on your health and fitness goals right now. I run all of my fitness accountability groups. They start the first Monday of every month. So whenever you're ready, I'm going to be here. And then I will even say something about, like, if it's okay with you, I'll follow up with you in 2 weeks and we can talk about my June group or whatever coming forward. But you've always got to have something. If they are just constantly giving excuses, you are not there to convince them. If they're constantly going back over the objections and you've already answered all of them, have something else that you can invite them to and move on, but follow up later. The power is in the follow-up anyway. So those are just some of that, some of the details, so like basic tips. So some common objections we get for challenge packs. I want the program, not just Shakeology. The shake I'm drinking from Complete Nutrition is just like Shakeology. Shakeology is just too expensive for me, or I don't have time to work out. These are some common objections that I get. And so I want to walk through you a couple scripts that I have sent out recently. Feel free to take these and make your own. I don't have a blanket script that I send anybody. I listen to their objections and I identify and try to make it my own. So this one was someone who was interested in my April group, and she said, like, I'm totally interested, but I don't know about the Shakeology. Like, I think I have a shake that's totally fine for that. So I tell her upfront that I do require Shakeology to be in my monthly groups. I want my ladies to get the best results possible, and I truly believe that if I am just giving them a program, it's just a crutch. I'm not giving them all of the tools that they need to succeed. And I let her know that after those 30 days, it is totally up to you. If you want to continue with Shakeology, you are more than welcome to be in my ongoing group at that point. But for that first 30 days, I want to give them all the tools in my arsenal, and that means Shakeology. And I let them know, I bring it back to me and tell them a personal story. When I started 3.5 years ago, I was sure I could find something out there that was just like Shakeology or better. I went to Complete Nutrition. That guy told me this was just like it. And I did research and realized that there was nothing out on the market that was remotely comparable. And I tell them, this is kind of me giving some more details about Shakeology. And I go through how helpful it was for me. I started drinking it 3.5 years ago and immediately saw increased energy it gave me, how it helped me fight cravings. And over time, I realized that it made me healthier all around. And I tell them I haven't been sick one time since I started drinking it. This person, she may or not may not join, but I truly believe that her shake isn't comparable to Shakeology, and I'm not going to budge on that. I'm going to go back for a second. What I want you guys to know also before a challenge pack, even before we talk about challenge packs, is I don't ever present the option to just get the program. And Jess, actually, this was a game changer for me, that the first week we ever met in real life, she mentioned to me, like, I don't give people that choice. And since she told me that, I don't either. When someone messages me about being in one of my groups, I let them know that we are doing the All Access Pass, or, I normally give them options between like the 21-day fix and then the All Access Pass, and I show them how they compare and how the All Access Pass is the better deal. but it's always a challenge pack that I'm telling them about. I don't even say like, oh, you're going to do this and then you're going to add Shakeology. I say what is included in this is 30 days of Shakeology, your meal plan, your program, and I go into all those details. And for the majority of people, this person who objected with this one, she's the first person that has probably objected to me specifically about Shakeology in over a year. And I think it's because when I present it, I present all the value up front. So this was actually a conversation that I just had yesterday that I wanted to show you guys. And there's a couple of reasons I wanted to show you guys this. For one, when you read her first message, the Kristen coach 3 years ago would have probably said, oh, great, contact me in August. The Kristen now is more confident and knows that, like, I'm not okay with her just saying that this is a good deal. Like, it's a good deal, but she can't afford it. I'm going to show her that she can afford this. Prior to this, I had sent her, she had asked me about what Beachbody was, that she follows me on Instagram. She loves my workouts, like, but can I tell her a little bit more about like what Beachbody is? So that's what I sent her prior to this message. So she's thanking me for the info, thanking me for being thorough, agreeing that being accountable and having that motivation in my groups is amazing. Then she asked about the shakes, and then she started second guessing herself. She started giving herself objections. While 160 is a good deal, it's too much for me right now. As a teacher, I'm saving for the summer. So when I touched back with her, I let her know that I was sorry for going a little overboard on my Instagram message because it's hard to type on Instagram, and I was trying to get it all out. They cut you off, and so it drives me crazy. But anyway, so I offered to send over the ingredient list for Shakeology, which one shows that I am proud to show her what's in there. I'm not hiding anything. And then I break down the cost for her. Honestly, I know that 160 seems like a lot, but it's because it's a whole total at once. It covers the whole year, and it covers a month of your shakes. If you were to buy, oh, I totally had a typo. If you were to buy your groceries all at once, it would be a larger amount than buying them weekly. And I show people that all the time, because when people complain to me about the price point of Shakeology, I let them know that it breaks down to $4 a day. If I were to go and buy all of my groceries at the beginning of the month, I would spend, what, $500 to $700 probably? I mean, I don't even know, but it would be a huge amount. But when I go weekly and do it, it doesn't seem like that much because I'm breaking it down. So I always compare that. I always say, like, you know, if you were to buy Shakeology weekly or daily, it would be this much. And so I told her that I brought it back to when I first joined and how I was a broke grad student, but making that investment was one of the best choices I ever made. It changed my life. And I found that now it has saved me money in other areas of my life. It replaces my multivitamins, replaced my probiotics, and other digestive meds I was on. And I tell them about how I've never been sick on it. That is a huge seller for me, guys. Like, I tell people that all the time. I truly believe that Shakeology is the reason that I have not been sick in 3.5 years, and I want everybody to know that. And then I tell her, like, I'm not trying to persuade you. I just want to give you the information. I do have groups starting monthly. However, this 160 deal is not going to be here in August. And let me know what other questions you have. And she's been messaging me all day. Like, I'm 99% sure that she will be joining next. And I'm not saying that, you know, I don't want you guys to use the script necessarily. I want you guys to listen to what your potential challenger is saying. Listen to their objections and meet them where they are at. So this was a different one. This one applied to me in my group. When I sent her the application, she apologized for applying and told me she didn't have the time or money to do it. I hadn't even talked about time or money at that point. Like, she was second guessing herself. And as a counselor, this is huge for me. This is just showing that she doesn't believe in herself and that she doesn't, like, she's doubting where she's at and that she can do this. So I, tell her, please don't apologize. I am not a mom yet. She was talking about how she has a busy life with a 2-year-old, and when she comes home from work, she's just exhausted and doesn't have time for anything else on her plate. And I'm not a mom, so it is hard for me at times to relate to that. But I have a ton of new moms in my groups. they are filled with them. I watch them bust their butts to get their workouts in every single day. And I want her to know that. I want her to know that I understand how hard it is. But what I also know is that finding 25, 30 minutes a day is completely doable, and it's vital to take care of herself. And talk about how it impacts my moms in all aspects of their lives, how they incorporate their kids, but they find that time because they are worth it and they need this. And then I invite her to, let's keep this conversation going, because she ended the conversation with apologizing for, even sending me the application. And the truth is, I can't afford not to take care of me. And I think you will find the same thing is true for you. Like those comments and I believe this. I absolutely believe what I'm telling her. And that comes through in my messages. What I want you guys to also know is, Jess and I and Lacey, we were talking about doing role plays. And what I said was, I worried about doing role plays because when I am messaging coaches or challengers, I'm doing it, via voice message or memo on Facebook, or I'm emailing them, and it's never impulsive. I am always taking the time to read through what I'm sending them, make sure that I'm touching on their objections and meeting them where they're at to help them. So having a template is okay, but I don't think that you guys will use it as much as you think you would. I personally, I don't. Like, I go into all of these messages and, sometimes I'll be like, oh, she sounds just like this challenger I had a week ago. Let me go back and kind of copy that message, and then I will pick and choose some things. I'll do that, like when I have similar objections or things like that. But otherwise, I really start all of these messages from scratch. And a lot of times I'm answering them on voice memo if they're on Facebook, because I want them to hear how authentic I am and how much I truly believe in what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to go into the common objections of coaching a lot because, honestly, if you invite people to our happy hours, we go over all of these objections. But some things that I will just touch on real quick are not having enough time. I go back to sharing my personal story. I want you guys to do that. Like, you are a challenger. You are a coach. Tell them when they're saying they don't have enough time to work out or they don't have enough time to work this business. Show them how you made time. Tell them, like, I totally understand that, you're a busy mom. I have a ton of busy moms on my team, and what they have found is that they can fit in 10 minutes here or there when their child is napping, or, they wake up 30 minutes earlier in the morning to get their workout done. Share real life experiences. And that's why it's so hard to come up with a template, because you have to be real and share what you have experienced and what your challengers have experienced. When people say that they can't be successful, I was there. I didn't see the potential that was here. I never thought I couldn't be successful, but I thought about, like, whether I was at the right place in my fitness journey, or whether I was, cut out for this. Like, can I really see long-term success with this? I share those things, and I share how that has changed, and how I share with them the successes that I do see. And even if you're a new coach, sharing that, you just helped your first challenger lose 10 pounds, or you just had one person join you last month, and that $40 helped you put gas in your car. Like, those are small successes that are yours, and they're authentic to you. And those are they're just as powerful as me saying, like, I've been able to quit my job because I've, been working at this for 3.5 years. They're just as powerful because they're yours. And then someone mentioned earlier, like, if the discount is worth it, if you're still paying the monthly fees, I always do the math for people. I show them, like, even if it's saving them $10 a month, like $10 over a course of a year is $120. Like, that's a big deal. I don't know about you. Like, I am not to the point in my finances that I am okay throwing away $10. If I'm able to save that money, I'm going to do it. And once again, if they are coming at you with these objections, you answer the objections, but you don't try to sell them. We know our team's amazing. We know that we have these happy hours that they can join in and see how amazing our team is. If they are just giving you excuses and excuses and excuses, you probably don't want them as a coach on your team if they don't believe in this and believe in you and believe in themselves. Okay, so I am going to stop sharing my screen. and open this up to questions. I guess I should look through the chat. It looks like you guys have been talking. Yeah, and I guess I have difficulty with the script piece because, like I was saying, it is so like personal, but I think you can come up with things, and I mean, I guess we can try to come up with like a file of those type of things, like the ways to handle objections. But I think the first and foremost, the most important thing is that you share how you overcame that objection. And I don't think there's anything more real and more beneficial than that. You can share how I did it, but that's not as powerful as sharing how you did it. I've had someone who had tried Shakeology in the past, but had major GI issues with it. Would you allow the exception in that case? Yeah, and like Lisa said, I would also always give them the performance line option. And if they're having GI issues, I've also had a lot of people who have swore to me that Shakeology was the issue, and it wasn't. A lot of times it was things they were putting into the Shakeology. For example, I don't know if Erica's on here. Erica is allergic to almond butter or peanut butter, but she didn't realize that until she started blending it into her shakes every day. And so she immediately thought it was the shakes that were, causing her issues, but it wasn't. It was the one of those allergies. People are quick to want to blame Shakeology for every problem they have. And so it's always like, I feel like I'm tiptoeing, like, well, what else have you changed in your diet? And what else have you done? Because 9 times out of 10, it is something else besides the Shakeology. But I absolutely will offer, I have an ongoing group that any of my past challengers can be in. So if they've given me those 30 days and they gave it a fair try with Shakeology, they're more than welcome to be in that group. My monthly groups that are on the app, I do require Shakeology to be in those. 17 and 21, I still wish I would have taken 25 minutes for me each day. Absolutely, Mindy. I'm sorry, Jess, I saw that you answered. Colleen, that was actually going to be an assignment in our Pop and Diamonds training, is that we want you guys to role play objections. Whether you guys are sending voice memos back and forth or whether you guys are shooting each other messages, I would love for you guys to role play some of the common ones you guys get. Lori says that she has someone who uses Spark from Advocare. This is my face with Spark from Advocare. Is Energize equivalent to this? So Energize would be like our most equivalent product, except that Energize is a lot better because it's clean and doesn't have a bunch of crazy crap in it. But people, I will tell you, Advocare people are kind of crazy about their Spark. They love that stuff. Bethany, you did Advocare. Can you compare Spark and Energize? Do you have a good comparison of those?
I don't know if I have a good comparison, but it is the same product. Like, it does the same thing, but obviously Energize is going to be a lot better. And Spark has a ton of like artificial crap in it. Like, it's really bad. But it tastes really good. I'll give them that. But I think Energize tastes amazing too. So now we have that. I didn't like E&E. I will say that. So when I went from Spark to E&E, I was like, oh, but now that we have Energize, it's
Lori,
really
do you have any Energize packets that you could potentially send for them to try? I keep boxes. I have like 6 of these right here next to my desk that I send people samples of Energize all the time.
I don't think I do, but I should get some.
Yeah, they're really, they're inexpensive. I think it's like, what, $10 maybe for the whole, something like that. And I think they're great. I will send these to my new challengers when they join a group with Shakeology, just to say like, hey, welcome to the group. I use them for a ton of stuff. Like, they're really helpful.
Great idea.
Yeah. Does anybody, you guys can unmute yourself and ask me any questions about maybe specific objections that I didn't cover, or any other questions you have? The call was just that amazing. Nobody has any questions.
I just unmuted myself.
Okay.
So I how do you, at the end of your challenge group, so at first I thought you were saying like, I will always let you be in my challenge group, even if you decide not to do Shakeology. But then you clarified yourself, your monthly groups, you require Shakeology. So
Yes.
usually I follow up with everyone every Monday. I send an email. In the last email, I invite them to my next group, saying that if you would like to continue with Shakeology in our follow-ups, they can come to the next group. I always feel a little awkward. Like, how do you do that? How do your challengers know that they have to continue with Shakeology?
So
I
I
feel awkward saying like, sorry, you have to go into my free pick club now.
No, I offer it as a choice. I say like, what's next? Like, what do you want to do from here? And then I say, I always have my ongoing Facebook group for all of my past challengers that you guys are always welcome to. Let me know if you'd like to be in that. And then I also have my new April group that just started. And the only requirement for that is that you're still on Shakeology and still doing our programs, because I have all my new challengers in there and I want everyone doing the same thing. And I've never really had anybody be like, oh, like because they have those options. My ongoing group is amazing. It runs itself. I have challengers that have been in there for 3.5 years. They don't want to be on Shakeology. They're still going to get a ton of love and support and see me every day in there. But my new groups are more focused on my new challengers. So I don't want them seeing other people in there not doing Shakeology. I want everybody to be on the same playing field.
Yeah, I agree. Only people who are on Shakeology are in mine.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know like how you went about it. I love how you did that. And
Yeah.
I will just say I do not have a problem selling Shakeology either. I don't get objections like that anymore, and I don't give anyone the option either. Like, you buy the all access pass to get in the group, and I think it's because I do it exactly the way that you do it. I share what all of my same objections, like identify with their problem and share. It works every single time. Like, it's 99%.
Well, and I feel like when it doesn't work, they're
not ready.
and that
Exactly.
has nothing to do with us.
Yep.
So I do think I share everything that's in it, and I mean the absolute key behind all of this is that you have to believe in this, because that's going to come through. If you are not confident, if you don't drink Shakeology, if you're not doing our programs, it's going to be really hard to come through authentic to people, and they're gonna see that. You have to love it. Like, you've got to believe in it. And shoot, I just lost my thought. Okay, but yeah, you got to believe in it.
And that's kind of, yeah, it goes back to like having, like, all of us can have a million scripts in the world, but if you don't have that like personal attachment to what we do, like, that's what sells people. Like, we can write out scripts for you guys and say it has 70 superfoods, amino acids, digestive enzymes, probiotics. Like, we can write out all of that stuff for you, but like, every other coach in the world has that too, and the only thing that makes you different is your belief. Like, all of us have different reasons why we love the workouts, why we love, Energize or Shakeology or the portion fix. And that's what's going to identify with people. People are going to be able to relate to that. And when they see that, like, you actually love that, they're going to go, okay, I trust you. I had a girl who was like a die-hard Weight Watchers fan, like had been doing it for years, lost tons of weight on it. And I sold her on the portion fix. I made her change something she did for the last like 5 years because I believed in it so much. And here she is, she loves portion fix. But it has to do with your story. And I could tell her all the facts about portion fix, but that's not going to do anything for her. So just remember, at the end of the day, like, this is why being a product of the product is the very first vital behavior, is because if you don't believe in what we do, like, probably shouldn't be a coach.
Well, it goes back to being a product of the product and sharing those things on social media. Like, when we tell you guys, like, to be constantly sharing throughout the day, like 3 to 5 times a day, that's why, because when someone comes to me, they don't have to say like, oh, well, do you drink this stuff? Like, yeah, because they see me once a week at least post a picture of my Shakeology. It's not daily. Like, I'm not on there like with a selfie every day of it, but they always see me talking about my meal plan, talking about my workouts. They know that I'm doing these things. So then when I'm telling them how it's changed my life, they're like, oh yeah, well, she's doing it. Like, I don't have any reason to doubt her. Any questions? I love seeing all these faces on here. No other questions? Anybody? Last chance before I close this up for the night? Okay. Oh, and one last thing. If you don't have a personal story about it, it's okay to talk about coaches on your team and challengers you've had. And I know I touched on that, but there's some programs that I haven't done because they don't really fit me, like P90. Never done that because it's more of like a starter program or for people who have had injuries. But I've had challengers who would do it. So when someone asks me about it, I can give them that firsthand, like, no, I haven't done this, but I have had blah, blah, blah. I'm not a mom. But I tell all my new moms that, yeah, I have a ton of coaches and challengers who use Shakeology in place of their prenatals and, do our programs while on the portion fix, and we'll just adjust your calories. And not being a mom doesn't hurt me. I have a ton of new moms in my group because I can still bring it back and share real life experiences with them. So if you're new and you haven't had a chance to have all of these experiences to share it, that's okay. You have a huge arsenal of people who can share their experiences with you. Post in our team pages. We'll give you feedback and help you, give them examples. So, all right, ladies. Well, if that is all, I will hop off and let you guys have a good rest of your Tuesday night. Thank you guys all for being on here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.